Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Monty After Dark, but in the morning. So, I wanted to go over McHenry Cruiser Bad Boy and the whole social security thing. He talked about it over the span of a couple of years, actually. He's done some videos about it because I think it's a good thing to talk about, especially when you have a social security. Hey, Robert Simmons. Good morning. Key, Corey Coconut. Hi there. I saw you over in the comments of BB. You don't need to be over there. It's all good. In time, things will reveal themselves. But one thing I want to point out is this. That's very important. I'm being painted as somebody who's, asking for pictures, asking for pictures, asking for pictures. But the thing is, in her very own video, she shows at 11 minutes, 10 seconds in, that she was offering. And that's what I've said the entire time, that I wasn't just asking, she kept on offering me pictures. So I think that is a very, very strong point. It's literally right in her video. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jacqueline Sue. Fish by any other name, Mary, Nolabu, One Small Moose, Robert, Deborah W. So how are you gonna paint me off as a person who is creepily asking for pictures, who's going around constantly asking you for this and that when you were offering in the first place? Asking for pictures is not a bad thing. I don't know why people make such a big deal about it. Yeah, exactly. Because even asking, people can say no, but it's not only asking; it's offering. It was literally 11 minutes, 10 seconds in. You can see that I was being offered, and that wasn't the first or second or third or fourth time. It was a constant thing. And then flip around, turn around, and then make me seem as if you weren't offering anything in the first place. Hey, Sunny Bizzle, Janine, Natsuki, hey everybody. All right, so let's get into McHenry Cruiser. I think this is pretty good. I'm not sure how many people are on any socials like, well, I don't even need to know, like social SSI, SSDI, and whatnot. So there's a lot of people who rely on these. So we shall figure it out as we go along. I'm in Canada. Our things are very different up here when it comes to like SSI, SSDI type of stuff. And then there's um, other ones as well, right? Okay, but yeah, some people even interchange SSDI with SSI. But they are different because SSDI is Social Security Disability Insurance, and then SSI is Supplemental Security Income, right? I know that. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear, Deb. Positive vibes your way. Yeah, Mary, I got to deal with it. Yeah, McHenry Cruiser is really cool. Like what he was saying about his whole situation from 4 years ago really paints a picture. Oh, I got Martha on me. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some live streams with Martha because I've rebranded one of my channels. So this is what Martha does. She has her hears. She hugs me in the mornings. She gets her breakfast. She hugs me in the mornings. She's always around me. And yeah, I get her hears all over me. Robert says, I'm not on SSI, but my mother is. She's elderly, pushing 70. I see, Robert. All right, so let me share my screen and let's get straight into it. What does she have to say? Because I felt this was like very heartfelt. Because when you're on the internet, people can be mean, people can be cruel to you, and they say a lot of shit. When they're saying a lot of shit, it can get to you, especially when you're in certain niches on the internet. Others can be nicer. Some are just very brutal. Martha, collaboration coming soon. Yes, I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff combing Martha because she loves to be combed. A lot of things happening with her. So let's get straight into this.
What's up, everybody? It's McHenry Cruiser, the Cruiser Man, back here on YouTube. Now, I just
Thank you,
wanted
Melanie
to
Sass.
to make this video to address the haters out
So
there that are actively gathering as I speak.
I'm so sorry to hear Corey cooking that. That is very horrible. That just because you're here, people are being mean to you. That is not a good look for the community, especially when I keep saying that they say people can have their own opinions and it's okay. You know, you have a right to your own opinion. You have the right to this. You have the right to that. But then as soon as you give your opinion, and if it's not what they feel, then boom, you're out. So we're gonna go forward.
Now, every time I get a comment on a YouTube video, the comment is emailed me via YouTube to my email address, and I get to read the comment in my email. That's how I read all the comments. And a couple of times, I've made a couple of videos about being on Social Security, collecting my SSI benefits, and a couple of times, and this is why I want to address this right now before the hate really gets started or before it gathers
Mm-hmm.
steam.
All right.
People are complaining on those videos, commenting on my videos, going, "Wah, wah, why don't you have a job? Wah, you're lazy. Wah, you can make a video, but you can't get a job. Wah, question mark. Wah." People complaining that I collect my SSI and I don't work and I should get a job. People are complaining that I don't have a job. I'm too lazy to look for a job. I am lazy,
A
but
lot
let
of
me
people say
address
that.
this right now.
A lot of people say a lot of things on the internet, but yep, explain away McHenry because I think he's touching on some really good points here. Runs in circles. What's up? Just because somebody looks as if they're able to do work or do a job doesn't mean that they can actually do it because there are invisible disabilities. You don't need to have your arm cut off, both arms cut off, or both legs cut off. Because this is a problem that a lot of people do. People have invisible disabilities, and there's constantly people out there just because they look at somebody like, oh, this person doesn't look disabled, they should get a job. But what about the invisible disabilities? You don't know anything about this person. You go to their channel, you see them, and then it just shoots off. Get a job, get a job. Why are you on here all the time? Get a job. But there is a reason why McHenry Cruiser, well, he had jobs before, but there's a reason why he has social. I'm actually really not sure which one he has. If it's SSDI or SSI, I have no idea. He'd have to tell me. But either one, there's a reason he has it. So let's hear his story.
Let me just start off by saying
Hey,
that
Monica.
from the month rather of December in the year 1999, that's when I got my first job. I was 19 years old. My first job was a security guard. And from December of 99 up until some point in 2008, I worked as a security guard. Yeah, lame job. Yeah, a job a monkey could get.
It's a job.
Uneducated. Wah. I understand. Not a great job.
Still a job.
Whatever. But I worked. That was my whole point. I worked. But I was never able to hold a job longer than a year and a half. Why? Because I rubbed people the wrong way. I have a bad personality. I'm too quiet. I'm too introverted. I'm too within myself. I don't talk a whole lot when I'm not on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so it
Hi,
rubs people the
Margaret.
wrong way. Or I would try to force myself to talk more, knowing that people were turned off by my lack of conversation. And I would try to force myself to talk more and ask a bunch of questions, question after question after question. I would ask people trying to start some sort of conversation and
Okay.
try to
Hey,
start some
Ghost Bird.
dialogue with the
Hey,
person,
MK.
and they'd be like, "What is this? 20 questions? Why are you asking me all these questions? What the fuck? Why are you interrogating me, son?"
Okay, so in other words, you were just socially awkward. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nolabu says if he's getting SSI, then he worked. You can't collect if you didn't put in. Gotcha.
They wouldn't like that. So I don't know how to get along with people. I don't know how to develop a dialogue with people. Other than on camera on YouTube, I don't know how to get a conversation started, keep it going, and all that. I just don't know how to do it. So I would rub people the wrong way, and for that reason, I've been fired from jobs for rubbing people the wrong way
I
a
hate when
couple of
that
times.
happens.
And for other times, a security job would the contract on a site would run up, and then they'd have nowhere else to put me, so I'd get laid off. There's always some reason why I was unable to hold on to these jobs that I had.
Okay.
So, but I always had a job. I'd work 3 months, get laid off or fired because I would go rub people the wrong way. I'd be off a month or two, but I would always find another job all the way up until 2008 when the economy crisis hit, and then I was unable to find work.
Just like millions of other Americans. So there you go, people. He was actively looking for work, even though he had his own issues at hand. Not just a lazy bum just wanting to not do anything. This man was actively looking for work. And if you don't know much about McHenry Cruiser, he is a he states he is a schizophrenic, but I think what they classify now is schizoaffective, right? So he's a paranoid schizophrenic, but I think they would say more like paranoid schizoaffective person, I believe. Yeah, he kept on getting out there even though he had all these issues. So I got to give one to him. There's a lot of people who have nothing, but they just don't want to work.
And since 2008, I've had a grand total of 3 jobs. One, I was a security guard for one day at a bridal shop, and they didn't like me at all. I was texting the whole time. The guy never met me, the boss, so I wound up having to wear a security shirt I had from another company, and because it was from another company, I used a black felt pen
Yikes.
to cross out the old company name and write in the new company name, and that was unprofessional to them. And I tried again because I didn't want to be the untalkative guy, the quiet guy, the introverted guy. The this guy is so quiet he might be a serial murderer guy. So I tried to communicate with the employees at the end of the shift. I tried talking to them as they're doing whatnot with
Okay,
the gowns and
interaction.
whatnot, and that
Yeah.
rubbed them the wrong way. The fact that I was trying to talk to them, so I wound up not holding on to that job that I had for a day. There was another job, a seasonal field representative, and I'm not going to go into what that job entailed, but that was only a seasonal job, so I held on to that job for 2 months. That was back when I was 30.
One thing I wanted to point out is the whole situation with the jacket and rubbing or scratching, black marking out the previous place he worked as name. How is that his fault that he didn't get a new jacket? Like sometimes I've seen shit like this happen where a workplace pretty much sets you up for failure, like not giving you a uniform. That's happened to me in my life, waiting for uniforms, and you gotta wear like a white t-shirt instead of like the t-shirt with a company logo or a dress shirt with a company logo, and you keep asking the supervisor or the manager or the lead, hey, where is the company shirt, where's the company shirt, where's the company shirt, because this looks unprofessional, and they won't give it to you. So sometimes your own workplace will set you up for failure. Jane Doe, good morning. Belizean Mimi, good morning. So with that situation, like he was just set up for failure from the get-go.
And then when I was 30, I want to say 2 or 3, I had a job as a telemarketer that I held on for 2 months before getting laid off due to lack of sales. That's a high
Exactly,
turnover
just
rate
I.
gig, that being a telemarketer. That's hard to hold on to. And
Wow, telemarketer, especially when you are schizoaffective, man, that is going to be hard. There was a schizophrenic that did night janitorial in an office I worked at years ago, and he was hilarious. Super nice guy, but very socially awkward. Exactly, Corey.
I did my best, but my best was not good enough, and I was laid off after 2 months. And that was the end. I haven't had a job since then. It's been a good 3 or 4 years, I want to say. And yeah, I haven't really looked for a job. I had an interview at Amazon for a package handler, and I wound up not getting that because I had to tell the guy I was on SSI. He goes, "Well, why are you on SSI?"
Oh,
And I go, "I'm a
SSI, okay.
schizophrenic." And then he was shocked that I was a schizophrenic. And he's all, "Well, that brings me back to my other question now. Is there anything about this job that you cannot handle, my friend?" He didn't say my friend, but I'm trying to convey the shock that he had when he heard that I was schizophrenic. I also got a
That shocks a lot of people.
misdemeanor on my background from when I was in LA 3 years ago, 3 years ago,
Yeah,
where I tried to
we
get a
talked
free
about that.
burrito at a restaurant without paying. I was homeless at this time, and so I tried to get the free meal at first, and then I was going to skip out on the bill, but they wanted me to pay beforehand, and I wound up getting mad and throwing chairs, and I kicked over a sign. This was back when I was in a schizophrenic delusion where I thought I was famous and everybody was following me and knew who I was.
If you haven't checked out my stream on that, I did a stream I think like 2 weeks ago on that whole McHenry Cruiser going to LA, and I said, hey, it didn't work out for him. It doesn't work out for like 99.9% of people that go to LA, but at least he tried, because there's a lot of people who want to go to LA who want to chase their dream, but they're too scared. McHenry Cruiser actually went physically to LA at points in time. For what was it, months he was homeless, but he still tried. So at least I gotta give that to him. Like, he actually did try to do what he wanted to do. So if you haven't checked out that live stream, check it out. Yeah, it is
That's
the
a whole big
stigma.
story. If you're not familiar with my videos, I just don't want to get into it. It's a whole big rigmarole. I'm not going to get into it, but I had a schizophrenic episode where I thought I was famous, and yeah, I just felt like I should be owed this free burrito because I was this famous guy in my own mind, and they didn't give it to me, and I flipped out. And the owner chased me with her cell phone to get a picture of me, to have some sort of photographic evidence of who I was to show the police, and I swatted the phone out of her hand. And
Yep.
then the police surrounded me. I don't know how they got
Facts,
there. I
Mary.
don't know who called them. I don't know if they just happened to be passersby and bore witness to the whole incident that was ongoing. But yeah, I was arrested for a misdemeanor assault. So that's on my background.
Right,
So I don't know
once more
why I didn't
moose.
get the Amazon job, whether it was because I'm schizophrenic, whether it was because I had to fill out the background check and state that I had an assault on my record, or whether they found that out. So I don't.
Janine Cook says, this is so sad. My oldest brother was a schizophrenic in the 1970s, electric shock treatments, different meds. I am so sorry to hear, Janine Cook, that happened to you, your brother. My condolences. That is very sad to hear how they were treating people back like in the 70s, 80s, even in the 90s, with these disorders.
I don't know why I didn't get that job, but I didn't get it. And by the way, that's why I'm on SSI, Social Security, because I have schizophrenia. That's my disorder. I've been in the mental ward 6 times in the last 3 years. Very varying different reasons. I don't want to get into it. I'll get into that in another video, perhaps. I don't know. I got a lot of mental shit going on, but that's why I'm on SSI. And when you're on SSI, Social Security, if you get a full-time job, then they'll cut off your SSI. You'll no longer get your Social Security. I get
because you get a full-time.
$963 a month on Social Security. That's what I make. And if I were to get a full-time job, because I also had an interview at Walmart that I didn't go to because I smoked marijuana on the day they called me for the interview, and they do a drug test and I
Oh,
wouldn't have passed the drug test, so I didn't bother
yikes.
going. So I have been looking for, or I used to, up until a year ago, I was looking for work. And for various different reasons, whether it was because of the assault, whether it's because I got schizophrenia, whether it was because I smoked weed and didn't go in, I didn't get the job. But if you get a full-time job on Social Security, they'll take away your Social Security. You can work part-time and keep your Social Security.
Gotcha.
Now let's go back into my history. I already told you I've never held a job longer than a year and a half.
So here's the thing that really gets me is like he had to make this video. Why? Why did he have to make this video? Because people keep saying get a job, get a job, get a job, but they don't understand why he doesn't have a job, and he has to explain that if he gets a full-time job, then his SSI goes away. And are you gonna risk maybe getting a job, then after a day, maybe a week, maybe a month, you no longer have that job, but then your SSI is all gone because you've now gotten a full-time job? Isn't it extremely hard to even get back your SSI once it's gone? Like, isn't a whole ass application? I've never been through that, so I don't know how long it actually takes. The application takes, but I've been hearing it can take a hell of a long time. But yeah, why would you risk it?
I
Maybe
rub
get
people
part
the
time.
wrong way.
Hey Tracy.
I'm too quiet, too introverted, too within myself, or I try to force conversation and make some sort of dialogue with people and bond with people and ask too many questions, and they feel like it's an interrogation, and I rub them the wrong way in that sense. So I've never been able to hold a job longer than a year and a half. So I'm not going to go to Walmart and take on a full-time gig at a job like that, throw away my Social Security and just be like, well, I'm going to risk that so I could work,
That
and then
no
wind
make
up
no
getting laid
sense.
off or fired 2 months in and wind up back on the streets homeless. I've already been homeless once for a period of
True,
three and a
Corey.
half months. And then I was in jail for another 50 days on top of that for the misdemeanor assault. So I was homeless basically for 6 months. I do not want to go back to being homeless.
Yep, that was his story. LA. Once again, I did do a live stream where I put two of his videos together. The one about being homeless in LA, and then the other one was about being in LA County Jail, which was like a whole experience for him. That wasn't that pleasant. It was bad. Like LA County Jail is really bad. He was talking about all these bed bugs, all these things that were happening to him.
And that's what will happen if I take a job at Walmart. I don't smoke weed anymore, by the way, so that's not an issue. But if I was to take a job at Walmart, if in fact I did not smoke weed or was able to pass the drug test, was able to gain full-time employment, it's a risk because I'm risking it because if for some reason I'm not good enough at the job, or if I rub somebody the wrong way,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to fire me or lay me off, and then I'm unemployed again. But this time I have no income, and I'm going to wind up losing the house that I'm in right now. I pay
Exactly.
$500 a
Why
month to
would you
live
do
here. I'm
that?
not going to have the funds to live here, and they're going to kick me out, and I'm going to be on the street again. So there's no way in hell I'm going to take on a shitty job like Walmart or McDonald's or Taco Bell or KFC or a movie theater or Mervin's or Kmart or something like that, which is the only job I could get, being that I'm uneducated, and take on a full-time responsibility only to then risk it and risk getting fired or laid off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's the whole point I'm talking about. It's like, why would you logically risk losing your SSI, which is paying your bills and, feeding you, over getting a full-time job? And then if you lose that full-time job over, sometimes it's bullshit, just like how the whole security with the jacket thing looking unprofessional. How is that his fault? That's his workplace fault, not providing him with a proper jacket. So he shows up day one at a security job that says the place that he is from and or is securing. Life of Lindsay says, I've had to explain my situation to people and it's so uncomfortable. I have a PhD and can't work because of physical and mental disabilities, and I've heard you don't look disabled. Exactly. People always go on the physical. There's people with invisible disabilities out there. It doesn't all need to be physical. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Stop knocking people when they are, disabled. They do have disabilities, but yet it's just not physically shown.
Getting fired or laid off and then be out on the street. I'm not going to do that. I would work part-time,
Morning,
but
it
I
ain't
would
that.
still be keeping my Social Security. But that's the beef that people have with me. They don't want me to collect Social Security. They want me to work. Well, I've never held a job longer than a year and a half. If I take on a shit job, I'm going to rub somebody the wrong way. I'm going to get fired, and I'm going to be out homeless on the street. Better for me to keep the guaranteed income and keep my housing situation and be able to not be homeless. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. How long's this video on now? 12 minutes? Damn. And I'm repeating myself?
They do get angry when you get benefits. A lot of people
I don't
are
have
just
any
like
faith
that.
in myself to keep a job. I just don't. And I haven't looked for a job in the last year because, you know, I'm only going to be able to work part-time. I'm not risking taking on a job full-time only to get fired or laid off.
I
I would
would
risk
not.
it if it was a career type job. If I went to college, got a degree, and got into something real good, a real good job with great benefits and whatnot, then it would be worth risking it. But I'm not going to risk my Social Security for Walmart or
It's
Kmart or
fair.
Mervyn's or one of these kind of gigs.
Completely fair.
So yeah, I mean that's basically the impasse. If that is that a word, is that a correct terminology I want to use right now? I'm
How old is he? He's in his 30s, late 30s.
not going to risk my guaranteed income that is keeping me in the house that I live in and is keeping me with food in my stomach and car insurance and being able to keep my phone on. I'm not going to risk all that just to appease a couple of YouTube commenters who want me to work, because when I pay for Social Security, when it's coming out of my taxes, when I'm paying for you to live, when, well, I paid into Social Security for a
As well.
decade.
Yeah.
I paid into it the same as you. They took it out of
He
my
deserves it.
taxes too. I paid into it, and now I'm collecting.
Exactly.
I'm collecting what is rightfully mine. Yeah, I'm not 62. Yeah, I'm not retired, but I need it. I rub people the wrong way. I've never been held on to a job for more than a year and a half. I got personality problems.
Fair.
So yeah, I mean, that's basically the situation I'm in. Do I risk it? I don't see how
Exactly,
I can risk
Tracy.
it and then lose my Social Security and then wind up fired and on the street again. I just don't see that being worth the risk. I can see myself working part-time, keeping my Social Security and working part-time and going forward like that, but you'd still complain because it's being taken out of your taxes.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know. I can't appease everybody. I can't make everybody happy. But I just wanted to explain why I'm on Social Security. And that's it. So until next time, boom.
All right, so that was the first one. He has others. Let's look into what else McHenry Cruiser had to say. So I'm gonna go with 3 years ago. So the first one was 4 years ago. Now let's see what he has to say about it 3 years ago. Then we're gonna have to see what he has to say about it when we start again 2 years ago. So we're going from 5 years. This is now 3 years. Then after this, it's 2 years. Let's go.
Yo, what's up, Holmes, amigo, compadre? Yeah, I just thought I'd shoot a quick video. I've been doing nothing but drinking my rock store fucking green sours, super sours, green apple energy drink. They're not paying me for that.
Yeah, Corey, that was molasses. We've talked about molasses here and there and everywhere. He's talked about molasses. He's explained the whole molasses situation in New England, how he went over there, and they went to Stephen King's house. A lot of stuff that happened with molasses, but yeah, it's been explained. I mean, I won't get into it here because we're talking about social security, disability insurance, or supplemental security insurance. So we'll just handle that for another stream.
On my
You saw this way back then.
spill the contents of this drink on the bed, I'm going to be purchasing the bed, and I don't have the money for that. Yeah. This is the life of a schizophrenic, my friends.
Positive vibes your way. Hey, house
Not
cat.
just of a schizophrenic, but a hikikomori, socially isolated, introverted hermit loner. That's what we do here during the course of life. Also,
That is a specific term, isn't it? Hikikomori, which means basically a shut-in, a severe form of social withdrawal. Let me put in what it means here. It's described in Japan as that. There's a lot of hikikomoris in Japan. Let me put it up. So this is what he's talking about. Hikikomori. It's in the chat if you want. Here we go. I'll put it up.
the life of somebody who does not have employments and all that jazz. So yeah, I pretty much chill here in this room.
He has audio
This
issues.
fucking room right here all day. Unless, of course, I'm going to McDonald's to purchase a coffee or going to the grocery store to get my food and whatnot. So I pretty much leave to jog, get coffee, and get food, and that's it.
Colleen says, I've been on disability since 2001. Luckily, someone at my therapist's office was pissed about my claim being denied. True.
I didn't go to McDonald's
You're welcome,
to get my
Durab.
coffee today. I actually went to, here's the coffee cup, by the way. This what are they called? Not a gas station. It's a gas station, but it's a convenience store. I went to a convenience store across the street because at McDonald's you can only get coffee with creamer, half and half.
Oh,
But
cool,
at this
Colleen.
convenience store / gas station, they have like Irish cream and French vanilla and hazelnuts and various flavors of cream. Plus, you can get a cappuccino. And I've been increasing my calories this last week because I have not been exercising. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to lose weight anyway. So why not increase the calories and then have some stuff that you wouldn't normally have?
What's up,
That's
Andrea?
more enjoyable than what you have when you're trying to diet down. So
That's
I've been
Tracy.
I had a cappuccino today with some flavored creamers, French vanilla, hazelnut, fucking Irish cream. So yeah, been having a good time because food is life. The only enjoyment aside from YouTube and talking to homies on Facebook Messenger and whatnot and utilizing the internet on my phone, the only joy I get in life is food and beverage. I talked about my coffee. But
Wow. Who else do we know that enjoys food and beverages and that's the enjoyment in their lives? Eerily similar, isn't it?
and here's a plate with a fork. I don't know if you can see that. I had a slice of fucking what is it called? Pie? What kind of? Well, now I gotta look in the fucking fridge because
Gotta love food. Exactly.
I don't know what kind of fucking pie I had. Cheesecake. Can you see this? I had there's various kinds of cheesecake in there.
Robert Simmons, yeah, we have tons of Tim Hortons. I believe it's like one Tim Horton for every 6,000 Canadians, regardless of if it's a person in their 90s or a baby, regardless of male, female, regardless of if they even like Tim Hortons, regardless if they drink coffee. So there is a site that talks about Tim Hortons, how Timmy's is very oversaturated. And with oversaturation comes a lot of problems because in some cities, even some towns, you could have two Tim Hortons, one on one corner and another on another corner. I've seen that so many times in multiple cities. In fact, I've seen like a whole building for Tim Hortons, and then in two gas stations that are across the street from the Timmy's, they have Timmy's inside the gas station. It's extremely oversaturated, and what happens when that happens is the business gets nasty at times with their employees, as in they'll say you're over baking. Because I had somebody who worked at a Timmy's, they were a baker, and they were like, that's one of the worst positions you could ever get with Timmy's is baking, because then they'll, put it all on you. It's like, if the stuff isn't baked and people want it, oh, you didn't bake enough. But if you bake enough or you bake more to compensate on whether or not you think people are going to come in to get the stuff, then they're like, oh, you overbaked, you're wasting the products, you're wasting the food. It's a very hard job being a baker at a Tim Hortons, from what I've learned from somebody else's experience.
And it fell. Put it there in the fridge. I had a slice of that, so yeah.
Very true,
So
hey,
I'm a
house
bit
cat.
stuffed.
Ever since they were bought out by an American company, they have gone downhill in terms of quality and other things.
I could say that, but I wanted to have a second cheat day this week. I'm going to have some Chinese food tomorrow, possibly some egg rolls, some orange chicken, and some white rice. That's going to cost me a wee bit of money, more so than I normally spend. But today, for about $8, let me, if I can get it out of come on, get out of here, cheat. Come on, amigo. Come on, Holmes. I got a turtle pie.
All right,
I'm going to be
Edward's
having
turtle pie.
Entire
okay.
Turtle pie, probably half of it as soon as it thaws, and then the other half possibly later on in the evening. So yeah, food is life. Ooh, some vagine. Is that a brunette, a redhead, a blonde? I'm not sure right
really?
at this precise moment in time.
Really, McHenry?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. So that's it, Holmes.
You know what he did there, right?
Food, turtle
You're welcome,
pie,
Tracy S.
Cheesecake, my sour apple, green apple, fucking Rockstar energy drink, a bed with no sheet on it, and just a disaster of a room. That's pretty much gonna. That's my day in a nutshell.
All right, so that's his day.
I'm not going to be doing anything else today, unless I live stream, but in the park or something like that. But who's to say? I don't know. But
he also doesn't like. I believe he doesn't like social situations. From my last talk with McHenry, he doesn't like being around people. So keep that in mind as well.
I just wanted to tell you a little bit of what I was up to today. I was going to have pizza on live stream at the pizza place, but I just was not in the mood for pizza. I was like, I want something kind of like a dessert. I want something sugary and dessert-like. So yeah, turtle pie it is, Holmes.
Yeah, he does seem to be very humble.
Hey,
Amy Judy.
I was like, all right. Since I'm waiting for the pie to thaw, I'll go ahead and procure this cheesecake and digest that. And yeah, now I'm a little bit full, so I'm wondering, can I finish the entire pie? I don't know, but I'll give it my best shot. So that's it. Till next time, adios, muchacha, boom.
All right, so that is it for the second video, and we're going to take a look at this very last one. So the first one was titled Get a Job Loser, Social Security explained his situation, which he didn't really have to explain, but a lot of people online are just super nasty about telling people to get a job because they don't see a disability. And I'm saying you don't need to see a disability. Sometimes you're just disabled and it's invisible. So the first one was 4 years ago. The last one we just watched with Turtle Pie was 3 years ago. Now we're going to get to watch McHenry Cruiser again 2 years ago. Let's see what he has to say. Let me put it up on the screen and let's get started.
Yo, what it is, homie? What it is, cuz, yeah.
Have I ever heard of Rice Lake, says Corey Coconut. I have. I've been by Rice Lake multiple occasions because if you have to go to Ottawa or Kingston or Montreal, you pass by you are south of Rice Lake. A lot of people go there for camping and stuff. Pretty popular. It's one of the many popular spots. Like we have Wasaga Beach, we have Kincardine, we have Goderich, we have Grand Bend, we have Collingwood, Midland, Kawartha Lakes. But yeah, Rice Lake is one of them. It's just north of Port Hope and Cobourg, Ontario, and it's a spot where people go to the summer a lot of times. So yes, I have heard.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there's this
Hey,
YouTube
Florida,
channel
welcome.
that I watch periodically.
Awesome, Robert.
Pretty much every time they upload it, if it catches my eye with an interesting title and whatnot, it's called Invisible People. It's this
I've watched that.
a man, this gentleman in his elder years, long, flowing locks of grayish hair and a beard and whatnot, and he roams around Los Angeles and various parts of the country, and sometimes, on rare moments and occasions, other countries, and interviews homeless people and documents it for the historical record. And yeah, so
I've watched
I can't
Invisible
help but to
People.
troll this dude.
Like I've said, okay, really, McHenry, you're gonna troll the dude. Is it above Michigan or Wisconsin? No, Corey Coconut. It is above New York State. Almost north of Rochester, more like northwest of Rochester is where Rice Lake is, across Lake Ontario.
Every single time he posts a video, I go immediately with great immediacy. Sometimes I don't even watch the video to the absolute full length of it, and I'll write something along the lines of what I wrote last night, which was this, or rather 2 days ago. I wrote this. Damn shame that Jennifer would rather
Nice, Holly
e-beg
Mac.
and use illegal substances than to get a damn job.
No, really, McHenry.
Because that's a reoccurring theme that somebody will bestow eyes and ears upon these videos where the homeless individual will
Hey, Katrina.
divulge their life story and whatnot, and in grand detail via the art of the spoken word, reveal how tough it is to live a life on the streets and procure employment and whatnot.
It is super hard to get a job, procure employment, especially when you're homeless. It's a reality that a lot of people have to live with, especially in a bad economy like this. Yeah, so that's just fact. Big facts right there. Oh, you were 5 or 6 last time you went? Well, come back anytime. Well, maybe not right now because it's like getting pretty chilly. Should have been here 2 months ago. Maybe wait for late spring or early summer next year.
So yeah, here's how he responded and retorted to me. Are you stupid or did you not watch the video? Jennifer is sober. She has had 2 jobs but lost them both in the 2008 crash. You do know that 16 million people lost their jobs in the last 2 weeks, yes?
Yeah.
It's a damn shame people such as yourself continue to say stupid shit like get a job. Yeah, listen, I do agree. What I did say was stupid, but I'm just trolling this dude. I'm just trying to provoke him, provoke a reaction out of him. I'm trying to rile him up. I'm trying to trigger him emotionally.
And he came at you with the truth. Like, there's always a reason people, are homeless. It doesn't have to be drugs. It doesn't have to be alcohol, which I do say is also a drug. It doesn't have to be like silly reasons. It could be because of a bad relationship, a bad partner, then you're in a lot of debt. Then, that snowball effect takes over. It could be you lose your job in a economic depression. There isn't just the drug issue or the drug angle when people lose their jobs. There's even people who are homeless and they still work full time. They live out of their car or they don't. They might live on the street. But I've seen many stories of homeless people that take care of themselves. They just don't have a home and they still work full time.
And get them to talk a great amount of shizzle to me. That's what I'm trying to do. So what I did retort with was, so she had 12 years to get a job and save money and chose to lay around and be lazy? In which he replied, dude, you already made yourself look stupid with your get a job comment. Now you're going on with the lazy shit, validating that you are ignorant as all fuck. Homeless people do not get days off, no sick leave, no vacation time. From the moment they wake up to the time when they find a safe place to sleep, they are working hard to survive.
Facts.
Homeless people are not lazy, not in the least.
True.
How about you take a moment to educate yourself instead of posting really dumb comments, making yourself look like a judgmental fool? And of course, I responded, bro,
invisible people come in with the facts.
you're starting to tick me off. See, and then he comes back with, "Then you'll love this. I made it just for people like you." And the title of his video that he sent me, or rather posted, a reply with a video link to, was called "Get a Job, You Homeless Bum," in which he details the various ways why it's difficult for a homeless person to obtain a career, a job of some sort, even if it's a low wage job. Because they have no home address.
True, no home address. Wait a second. Corey Coconut says, I also remember my mom never wanted to go into Montreal because people were mean to her. Yeah, it's the whole Anglophone, Francophone thing. There are some people in Montreal that don't like Anglophones, as in you speak English and not French. They like the Francophones. A lot of people still believe that Quebec should separate from Canada and be its own country. But I have my concerns whether or not Quebec can survive on its own. There's a lot of arguments for that, but yeah, the whole English French thing in Montreal is so played out. But a lot of people really are nasty to when they hear an English speaker, especially when they know you're lost or you're looking for information. They don't want to give that information to you because they just want to be mean. I've been through it many times in Montreal, especially if you go on the outskirts like Saint-Thérèse, or you go further north, just anywhere just outside of Montreal. All they can speak English. There's a lot of people who can, but they just don't. Even if you go to like Blainville or Mirabel, just outside of Montreal, once again, people can just be mean and awful. People will always find a reason to separate themselves from others. Exactly, One Small Moose.
I have a physical address that makes people leery of you and whatnot. You got no place to wash your clothes, no place to store your clothes and your possessions when you would go out and take part in this job and all that jazz. Where are you gonna keep your stuff, homie?
Where?
Yeah. Where are you gonna wash your clothes? How are you gonna shower daily? Where are you gonna shave your face and whatnot? And certainly there are people who are gonna say, well, listen, Planet Fitness, you can, for $20, you can get a membership at any of the Planet Fitnesses, and you could shower and you could shave and whatnot. And yeah, but where are you gonna get the $20? Where are you gonna get the $20?
Where are you?
Beg on the street. Listen, I mean, I'm even talking about this in my mind. Listen, I was homeless. It is very difficult. I had no place to store my things. I had nowhere to shave or shower. It was very difficult, very hard. When I had a schizophrenic meltdown and made the journey to Hollywood to confront celebrities and whatnot, because I thought I was communicating with them through the TV.
Yep, here, there's a story again. He went to Hollywood. He was homeless 4 months. He knows what the experience is like. If you've ever been homeless, you know exactly what the trials and tribulations of people homeless have to go through.
They were watching me on hidden surveillance cameras around the residence and whatnot. It is very hard, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to debate this guy. I just want to trigger him emotionally. I just want to get him all riled up and talking a great deal of shizzle, which I do every single time. And he does not seem to remember me every single time. He talks to me as if.
But wait a second. Doesn't Invisible People, doesn't he have like, I forgot how much subs Invisible People has, but he has a good amount. He's not going to remember every single person that trolls him. And is he the only one who's actually replying? Invisible People, 1.03 million subscribers. That is a lot of subs. Over a mil. Wow, look at that.
If he's hearing this from myself for the very first time, and we get into the same precise argument. Where, I tell the homeless bum, listen, Chief, you wouldn't be homeless if you got a damn job. And he comes back at me, the same retort, sends me the same link every single time, and I just find it absolutely hilarious.
One Small Moose.
I do. It's absolutely hilarious. So what do you think?
Do you agree with this dude that for a homeless individual it is hard to obtain employment?
It
For
is.
the various
I
reasons
agree.
he laid out that I repeated back to you for this video, or I don't know, or I mean, maybe y'all want to get in on this. Go to his channel, Invisible People, and do the exact same thing I'm doing, and have a hell of a time. Till next time, adios. Boom.
Well, that is it. Pink Unicorn says, I'm Acadian French and Quebec is rude to me. Also, not the same French. I have been there and they were very rude. So I guess they could pick up on it, kind of like how us English speakers can pick up on, like Southern versus Northern accents and whatnot. So if you're lost and don't know Acadian, however you want to pronounce it, but that typically is the type of French spoken in like the north and eastern regions of New Brunswick, right? Because there's also Brayon, which is Maine, like the Maine area, Maine Quebec border, and there's also a lot. There's Caraquet, there's Tracadie, there's Chiac, there's a lot. Is Acadian from Louisiana? Good question. Colleen says he's in recovery. Good stuff. But what have we learned here? That life is hard. That just because people don't look like they have a disability doesn't mean that they don't. You can have invisible disabilities that doesn't give other people the right to come online and tell somebody else to get a job because they don't know the circumstances, the reasoning for why people are in the situation that they're in, and it's not always the go-to, such as alcohol or drugs, or because they're lazy. Like, there's very valid reasons even right now why people just don't have a job, and some of those valid reasons are that the economy, circumstances, being with the wrong person, and then they eat up your finances. Yeah, divorces can land people to be homeless. There's even homeless people with jobs. They try and live a healthy and fulfilling lifestyle as possible. Yeah, exactly, Kurikonogan. We all have our issues. Blue Eyes, what's up? Colleen says there's Acadian Mountain and Park, Maine. Actually seems everything is Acadian. Yeah. Opposite. Louisiana speak Acadian from New Brunswick, from the mass deportation from the Brits in the 1800s. Oh, all right. Polly coming with some tea. So that's what's going on. So the Acadians from New Brunswick got deported in the 1800s and went to Louisiana. Okay, gotcha. All right, good to know. Everybody, what else can I say about this situation? I mean, don't knock people online. I hate when McHenry Cruiser had to really explain his situation in such like a very honest way. That, hey, I have worked. It's just, my jobs didn't work out. He had a job for a year and a half. And then after a year and a half, it's been on and off. He doesn't want to lose his SSI, which is different from SSDI because the SSI is supplemental security income. He gets, a tiny bit of money per month to help him survive, pay for his food, pay for his lodgings. And you don't want to have a full-time job and have to lose your SSI because it's going to be extremely hard to get that back because it's a whole ass application and then you got to prove that you need it. So why would you risk getting full-time? You could get part-time, yeah, but getting full-time, you're going to lose your shit. So everybody, thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to talk more stuff in the mornings. Like I said, my schedule is typically going to be stuff in the mornings, like right now. Then Monty After Dark, talking about Foodie Beauty or Nada or anybody or anything else at nighttime. And we're going to keep that rotation. And then on my main channel, I'll stick to the typical stuff, Foodie Beauty, DLF, Sagittarius Shoddy. I might add a new person. But one thing I will tell everybody here, I really appreciate each and every one of you for sticking around and, listening. It's going to be something different. Also, check out my My other channel, Monty does stuff. I'll be putting videos and live streams, doing live streams on that channel as well. Cooking, or just being with Martha, because she loves to be brushed. She loves to be held. She's always around me. Thank you, Amy Judy. She is a beautiful cat. So is Lola. So we're gonna have some cat cam action, some cat live streams. So hopefully people will enjoy that as well. So yep, hopefully everybody have a good morning. I think Martha left. I think she went to do her own business. I guess I'm gonna catch up with her in a minute or two. But yeah, she loves being around me. Wherever, if I go downstairs, she's downstairs. If I go upstairs, she's upstairs. It's just like that. All right, I'm out. Thank you once again. Smash that like button. Have a good day. Have a good morning, wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourself, and be good to yourself and each other. See ya. Bye-bye. Have a good one. Be safe.